Molly, and this is a soap I made a couple of months ago where I used the mantra swirl technique, but without dividers. I've used this technique in the past with dividers, and I'll list that video below in case you'd like to see it. You'll find the recipe at the end of this video where I enter it into a soap calculator, and all of the other information will be listed in the description box below. For the two orange colors, I prepared some red Brazilian clay by mixing it with a little distilled water, just enough to make it fluid. For the black, I prepared some activated charcoal by mixing it with some olive oil. Both the clay and the charcoal can be added dry to the soap. However, I find them easier and quicker to blend and less likely to leave specks when prepared this way. If you need more details on how to prepare your lye and oils, I'll list some of my other videos below that provide more information. Just be sure to learn and follow lye safe handling procedures during the entire soap making process. For my fragrance, I used an essential oil blend of frankincense, lavender, and a little rosewood natural blend, and then added some white kale and clay. It's one of my favorite scents. I blended until just reaching an emulsion and then poured off some soap for the various colors. For the black soap, I added 1/2 teaspoon of the charcoal oil. For the light orange soap, I added 1/4 teaspoon of the hydrated red Brazilian clay per cup of soap. And finally, for the dark orange soap, I added 1/2 teaspoon of the hydrated red clay per cup of soap. I blended a little more and made sure each portion was at a light trace for the pour. You can use dividers for this technique if you want a neater and more consistent pattern, but I really like the random colors and swirls I get when I just do a quick no divider version like this. I did oven process the soap so it would go through a complete gel phase and could be unmolded a bit sooner. I removed it from the oven 2 days later and was able to immediately unmold and cut it. Since this was a cold process soap, I left the type of lye set to sodium hydroxide, or NaOH. My recipe oil weight was 2,400 grams. My lye concentration was 35%, which means my lye solution consisted of 35% sodium hydroxide and 65% distilled water. I left the superfat at 5% and my fragrance usage rate was 45 grams per kilogram. Once you have everything entered, you just select to calculate the recipe, then to view or print it. SoapCalc will give you a really nice listing of all of your ingredients, including the amount of sodium hydroxide required to saponify your oils. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found something useful here to help you in your soap making.